Yo, it's been a minute since Deezy had to holler at ya and let all y'all know how it's going down because yo, Deezy still ain't getting that paper he deserved. So Deezy been doing other things, and he ain't just talking about getting his NCAA on, but you know that's how Deezy do. Nah, Deezy been putting in some serious work, keeping his name out there. He been doing all sorts of guest spots on other people's tracks. Like yo, that Meek Mill, I'm a Boss. Yo, Deezy was supposed to be on that, but they had to make room for T.I. because he was on work release for a couple of minutes. And yo, speaking of that, Deezy had to spend some time down the Hogsback Hilton his damn self. Yo, Deezy's homies from Laconia know what Deezy talking about, but Deezy gotta keep it real on the real. You know what Deezy's saying? Deezy wasn't doing a bid because Deezy was doing dirt. Now don't get it twisted, because Deezy ain't afraid to do dirt all by his lonely. Word life. Deezy even done some things that Deezy ain't exactly proud of. On the real. Yo, that ain't what Deezy be talking about, yo. No, Deezy wasn't giving out handies, yo. Oh, you think you funny now? You a comedy teller now. See, you always trying to tell jokes, clowning around, and that's why you can't have no nice things, yo. See, Deezy keep it real, cause real recognize real. Deezy ain't got no time for jokes, especially jokes that ain't funny. No, your clown ass done fucked up Deezy's shoot. Deezy was trying to tell a story, and you're over there talking about Deezy giving a handy trying to be funny. Spotlight ain't on you, homie. No, don't turn that camera off. Deezy ain't done talking. Y'all want to talk about Deezy giving handies? Deezy gotta tell you what it mean, yo. You see, Deezy wasn't always a worldwide movie star, / recording artist, / wrestling superstar, / winning his coast in fantasy football fever history, yo. Once upon a time, Deezy was just a WWE superstar. East Coast, West Coast, holla. But yo, Deezy, he was always grinding, trying to get his name out there. Make a dollar out of 15 cents. And yo, Deezy wasn't always C-Deezy for Sheezy. Back then, Deezy was still C-Dog, and he has just wrapped up his storyline with the greatest WWE faction of all time, Depression Wednesday. So yo, Deezy had been pushed back down the card because Deezy didn't have a hot storyline, even though every fan in the arena was wearing a C-Dog t-shirt on the real. So they gave Deezy this weird Spider-Man gimmick where Deezy had to have his hair dyed green and wear green tights and swing into the ring on a cable. And yo, Deezy a team player, so Deezy was trying to make it work, but just wasn't working. So they took Deezy off TV for a couple months. So Deezy, he's sitting at home, getting his Hot Shots golf on, when he get a call. Yo, it's the WWE, and they need Deezy to do a reality show. So Deezy, he like, yo, tell him more. Turns out, it's this show called Celebrity Handyman, where they be getting celebrities to go around to people's houses and help them do stuff around the house. Now Deezy, he don't know nothing about doing no home repairs, but they say, yo, you ain't gotta know nothing. You just gotta make it look good for the camera. Now you know Deezy. Deezy always make it look good for the camera. So Deezy was all in. Word life. But there was one other problem. You see, Deezy was just, let's just say, self-medicating at the time, and he ain't quite figured out the right dosages. So Deezy, when he get to the set, he all fucked up. In fact, Deezy don't even remember anything about that week. But Deezy know what happened because Deezy got himself another call from the WWE to say they ain't happy with Deezy. And that's how Deezy's 2-week vacation turned into a 10-week vacation. But yo, that show got canceled after 2 episodes, Deezy got another chance at the WWE, and it's all good. Now, flash forward 5 years. C-Deezy for Sheezy, he is superstar now. He got all the titles, all the gold, all the merchandise, yo. So the WWE, they put in some work, brushed a few things under the rug, and Deezy got himself a passport and a work visa to go on the European tour. And yo, when Deezy finally came out for that first show in Sheffield, they blew the roof off, yo. Mad crazy. Now it's a tag match, and Deezy's standing in the corner, waiting to go in, so he looks out into the crowd, and he sees all these signs for Deezy, but they ain't the usual signs. Yo, no drive-by, no East Coast, West Coast holla, not even a 4-leaf clover. No, these be some straight-up whack signs like, Deezy gave me a handy, and Deezy came to my house and all I got was a handy. So Deezy, he like, what the crash net is going on? Cause they be cheering for him, and when Deezy made that hot tag, they done blew the roof back off again. So Deezy figured just some redcoat thing. But the next night in Nice, it's the same damn thing. Voulez-vous un handy do Deezy? Bonn, Naples, Berlin, it's all about Deezy and handies. So finally, after the show in Brussels, Deezy asked what a handy was. Turns out that show that got canceled over here became a huge hit over in Europe, but they only finished the 2 episodes. So this network, they bought all the unused footage and made more episodes, including one featuring yours truly, C-Deezy for Sheezy. Now remember, C-Deezy was still C-Dog when they shot the original footage, but when they recut it, they dubbed in the new name. So everybody knew C-Deezy was that guy who fucked up that one house on Celebrity Handyman. And apparently it was a really popular episode because it became a slang term all over Europe to describe any bad thing as getting handy from Deezy. Tree falls on your house? Handy from Deezy. Smash up your car? Handy from Deezy. Lose your world title to Crash Net by being pinned clean in the middle of the ring? 1, 2, 3? You done got a handy from Deezy. So yo, Deezy, he ain't been back to Europe since, but he's still an icon over there. Thugtastic was huge over in the EU. And you can't go to a club without hearing Deezy in the mix. That's how Deezy went from East Coast, West Coast holla to East Coast, West Coast, worldwide holla. All because some housewife got a handy from Deezy. So show some respect for the icon, yo. Now where was Deezy before some clown interrupted him? Oh yeah, Deezy was talking about the Hogsback Hilton. But before we get to that, Deezy was talking about making moves in the music scene. And that brings Deezy to his big homie, the other half of Cash Rules Everything Around Me, Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP. You see, MVP been chilling all over in Japan, still getting his wrestle on, but in between time, he been working on his album using his own green. Now Deezy ain't on the single, cause the schedule ain't work out, but when it came time to shoot the video, Deezy wasn't gonna miss that, yo. So go see that hot track, Hot the World, at mvpworld.com, and look for Deezy by the swimming pool, yo. So what else been going on? Deezy was in the Lou a couple weeks ago, supposed to do some stand-up comedy with the Iron Sheik. Yo, Deezy know what he just said. Yo, Deezy already said he had to do some things he ain't exactly proud of. You know why Deezy was working with the Iron Sheik? You know why Deezy had to put his chains up for bail, yo? Because they be fucking with Deezy's money over at Carson Sports Limited. No, Deezy ain't calling it that. He's calling it what it is. Carson Sports Limited. Homie tried to take all the cake and forgot who beats the batter, yo. You know why Deezy was down the Hogsback Hilton? Because friend of the court wasn't getting the child support checks out of the paycheck. Yo, you know Deezy take care of his kids. On the real. They always got fresh kicks. And Deezy never let nobody put peanut butter sandwiches in their lunch, yo. Why? Because they try to embarrass Deezy. They try to make Deezy they pet or something. But Deezy ain't going out like that. Yo, you gonna let Deezy finish? Or is Deezy gonna have to do a drive-by on that ass? Word life. So yo, Deezy was supposed to open for Sheik down in the Lou, but apparently Sheik had some health problems and had to cancel. Thing is, nobody told Deezy before he got hammered on the flight over. And yo, Deezy can hold his liquor, but seriously yo, you on thin ice right now. No, Deezy ain't got no drinking problem, and Deezy won that skills challenge. Yo, what was the challenge? That's right, to be the last one at the table. And when you and the homies showed up, who was still at the table? That's right. You ain't see that pussy Coach Young there. He ghosts like Swayze. Yo, a win's a win. Deezy ain't trying to say it ain't take a lot out of him, but Deezy won, and that's what counts. Yo, Deezy don't back down from nothing. In fact, Deezy gonna tell you about the only time he ever gave up on a challenge. You see, when Deezy was just breaking into the WWE, he used to ride from town to town with a kid named Billy Armbar. Yeah, that one, but this was before all that, yo. Deezy and Billy, they used to be tight, but they was both cheap, you know what Deezy's saying? So they came up with a game, and the game went like this. You see, they'd get to the next stop, and they'd have to share a hotel room, because money was still tight. And they'd save on cost by getting a one bed, but neither one wanted to share the bed, no homo, so they had a competition. After the show, they'd head over to the nearest dive bar to try and find a ring rat. And yo, what they'd do is try to be the first back to the room with the ring rat, because yo, you can't disturb a homie when he 10 inches deep, on the real. So he'd get the room for the night, and the other guy, he'd have to sleep somewhere else and pay for the room. So Deezy, he had to do some things that he ain't exactly proud of just to get back to that room before Billy. You know what Deezy's saying? Now this was all good for a few months. Sometimes Deezy lost, but Deezy won a whole lot too. So it's a few weeks before they get the call up to the main roster, and they want them to start working with this new guy by the name of JV Charlie Sims. Now, they ain't know a whole lot about Charlie, but they ain't trying to mess up their big break. So they let him ride with them to the next show, and Billy starts telling him about the hotel challenge, and Charlie, he listening, but he ain't saying a lot, yo. Now they get to the show, and Charlie, he go on before them. So Billy's like, yo, after the show, head down to the bar and we'll see what's up. So Billy and Deezy, they do their thing in a tag team match. In fact, Deezy think they still hadn't dropped the titles yet, so they main eventin'. After the match, back to the locker room, Charlie ain't there. Deezy, he like, yo, where's Charlie? Yo, he's at the bar down the street. So Deezy and Billy, they head out, but yo, there ain't no bar down the street. In fact, there ain't no bars in sight. So after about an hour, they go back to the hotel and Billy's like, yo, my key's missing. And Deezy's like, yo, he'll just go down to the front desk and get a new key. So he's talking to the desk cutie, and she says, yo, we already gave out the spare key. And Deezy, he'd be like, yo, who you give the spare key to? And she says, yo, she gave it to some tall guy in a trench coat who was with some big black dude that looked like Barry Bonds. And Deezy, he don't know nobody in a trench coat. And he for damn sure don't know no Barry Bonds. So he make a beeline back to the room. And Billy like, yo, you got the key? And Deezy like, yo, forget the key. We gotta get in there, cause we getting ganked. So Deezy, he busts down the door and... Yo, hold up. Cause Deezy, he seen some shit. But he ain't never seen no shit like that. Word life. You see, JV, he was trying to beat Billy and Deezy at their own game, but yo. Let's just say that for the next 6 months, both Deezy and Billy had their own hotel room every night, bought and paid for by JV Charlie Sims, just so they keep quiet. You see, Deezy ain't no snitch, but he ain't stupid either, yo. But that was the end of the hotel challenge. Now, Coach Young, he ain't no JV Charlie Sims, and he ain't win no damn skills challenge. Oh, really? Deezy Betty won't say it to Deezy's face. Oh, really? Then he better know better than to step on Deezy's turf. Oh, really? Yo, Deezy about to handle this right now. Word life.